You know, it really is pretty easy to learn how to grip a stick. In fact, if my 2-year-old walked in here, I could hand him a stick and he'd probably grip it correctly the first time. But what we're going to do here is give you some checkpoints that you can use along the way to make sure your grip is perfect every single time and that you don't develop any bad habits. The first checkpoint I'm going to have you do is to find the proper balance point on the stick. The balance point means that there's the right amount of weight distribution in the front and the back to make sure that we can do bounces. If you grip too far up or too far back, you're going to have some problems. So let's find the perfect balance point. The perfect balance point on the SD1 General is halfway between the flag and the H. Very, very simple. If you don't have the SD1 General, chances are you can take a ruler and measure from the butt end of the stick about 5 inches, maybe 5.5 on this stick. Okay? Different sticks will have different balance points, so that's important. What I have my students do is to take a magic marker and mark that spot, or take a piece of tape and wrap it around there so they can get their hand in a correct balance point every single time. Checkpoint number 2 is to establish the proper fulcrum. I'm going to show you the right hand fulcrum. What we're going to do is take the meaty part of the thumb and touch the index finger in the second joint. Not at the tip, but in that second joint, and I'm going to wrap that index finger around my thumb. So I should have a fulcrum that looks like this. Notice that the hand is closed. That's very, very important. If I touch my thumb to the tip of my index finger, I'm going to have this open gap here. That's not the kind of grip that I suggest because it's not very strong. This is a much stronger fulcrum. So, with that checkpoint in mind, I'm going to take my stick at that proper balance point. I'm going to put my meaty part of my thumb on the side of the stick, wrap my index finger around, and I have a great fulcrum. The third checkpoint is where the stick falls in the hand. And this is important, and a lot of people kind of ignore this. A lot of students will begin to have problems when they're learning to grip the sticks because they'll allow the stick to fall inside, down here, or too far out here. So this is important that you learn that the checkpoint of having the back end of the stick fall in the heel of the hand. This is very important. The next checkpoint, checkpoint number 4, is to relax the back fingers around the stick. Now, I'm not telling you to grip with the back fingers. The only point of contact that we should have is with that fulcrum. So we want those back fingers to be relaxed. In fact, if you've done this along with me, you should be able to wiggle your stick, and the stick should be able to move freely between the palm and the fingers. So just try that for a second and you'll see if you have the proper grip. Now, for the match grip, which is what I highly recommend for all of my players, you simply repeat all of those steps for the left hand. Then, what we're going to do is learn the proper playing area. What I want you to do is, without the sticks in your hands, start off by relaxing your hands next to your side. What we're going to do is try to make sure that our shoulders and elbows are relaxed. Then we're just going to pick up our hands. Okay? What I want you to think of is the next checkpoint, checkpoint number 5, is that your hands are going to be flat when you pick them up. Almost if I walked over and put a little glass of water on top of each hand, that you could balance that glass of water with your hands flat. This is going to allow us to have the correct motion when we learn the stroke. Okay? Do exactly that same thing with our sticks. If we pick our sticks up, we should have the hands flat with our proper grip. The next checkpoint, checkpoint number 6, is to put the sticks, the tip of the sticks, in the center of the drum pad. Okay? We want to make sure that we're not having the sticks out like this or over to one side. Very center of the drum pad. This is great with the X-Acto pad because it forces me to put it in the center of the drum. Okay? The last checkpoint is to keep your sticks at about a 90-degree angle. A 90-degree angle essentially is like the corner of a box. Okay? That's going to give you the proper playing zone for you to be able to be successful when we start learning the stroke. So go through all of those checkpoints, making sure that you watch yourself in the mirror to see whether or not your hands look as good as mine.